Hello and welcome to this short video about how I press and dress my frets. Here is just a bit of info about my homemade fret press. The nut on top here is simply a depth stop. The pressure is applied by the second nut underneath. Of course, spinning the bar causes the block to move down and therefore apply pressure on the guitar neck. This piece of bar has gone through the steel plate and been riveted, which allows it to spin freely. The gap up there is the same width as the wooden block, so that it stops it from spinning when the threaded bar is turned. If that gap wasn't there, it would just spin round and round like this and never locate on the fret. So now I could press my frets in. However, after doing so, you can see quite clearly here that the frets haven't gone down at the side. And the reason for this? Well, after I'd sanded the radius on my fretboard, to finish sand it, I went over it by hand. And somehow, just using some fine sandpaper, I've sanded a huge amount off the corner, so the fret, being the right radius, looks like it just goes straight on. I then made this 10-inch radius tool to try and bang the edges in. Okay, we were just going to lie and pretend that hitting the frets really hard actually worked, because we couldn't get the ends to go down. So what we decided to do is put them in again using the press by putting a bit of super glue just in the middle of the fret. And then we've really used the tool properly by forcing them in as hard as possible, and they've actually just pressed straight in properly. So if you build a tool, actually use it what it's meant for. So now all I've got to do is finish off the frets by grinding them down with the Dremel. So basically what I was doing there was using the sideways view to take the fret as close as possible down to the fretboard, but of course I didn't want to accidentally grind away at the neck because that would destroy it. And once I got it as close as possible, I angled the grinding disc so I could start putting the taper on the ends of the frets. It doesn't show up on camera how well the Dremel has actually just done it freehand. Now that I've got the frets as close as possible with the Dremel, I don't want to graunch into the fretboard, so I need to stop here. I'm going to not bother using the file, because they're just bad, always hard to use. So what I've got here is a bit of wood, and what I'm going to do is take some of this 60 grit emery tape, which cuts wood and metal really quickly, so you don't want to be too firm with it, and I'm just going to tape it on here to make my own fret beveling file. I then just use this, again freehand, to remove any final burrs from the side and then bevel the edge of the frets. Thank you for consistently watching these videos. I know a few people suspect that I'm actually spending too much time on my second channel, but in fact this was just kind of a bum video where I only had 2 things to show. But next week is the finishing process, so I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.